Good morning. Welcome to the Dodge County Sheriff's Office. I'm Dodge County Sheriff Dale Schmidt. With me to my right is Chief John Kreitzinger from the Beaver Dam Police Department, and to my left is Dodge County District Attorney Kurt Klomberg. We would like to provide information to you in regards to last night's incident. I ask that you please hold all your questions until the end, and we will address a few questions as we are able to do so. Before we begin, the public and the media has come to know that the Dodge County Sheriff's Office and the Beaver Dam Police Department are very open and transparent about incidents that occur in Dodge County. That being said, there are times in which we must be cautious with the information that we release. In these incidents, as a result of these incidents, we want to make sure we do not impede any part of the investigation. It is of utmost importance that we ensure the accurate account of events for all involved, which includes not only the law enforcement officers, but also citizens involved, and the citizens of Dodge County. Furthermore, this incident involves information which is prohibited for law enforcement to release under Chapter 19 of Wisconsin statutes related to the release of mental health information. We will provide information as we are able, but we are limited today. Finally, as it relates to the identity of individuals involved, it is the policy of the Dodge County Sheriff's Office to not release names of individuals involved in incidents resulting in the significant injury of an incident for at least 24 hours or at such time as all family members have been properly notified, whichever comes last. We also must complete certain portions of our investigation before that information can be released. As a result, the names of individual and persons involved will not be released until a later time. As I explain the details as I am able, please know that the public is safe in relation to this incident. At 5:36 p.m. last night, Beaver Dam Police responded to a report of a domestic-type incident at 510 Walnut Street in the city of Beaver Dam. Beaver Dam police officers responded to the scene, and while in contact with involved persons, officers reacted to a situation involving a firearm. Preliminary information shows that shots were fired by law enforcement, and a 35-year-old Beaver Dam man was shot in the lower extremities. Following shots being fired, assisting officers were able to take the male subject into custody without further incident. He was immediately treated by Beaver Dam paramedics and transported to the hospital. He was later transferred to UW Hospital for further treatment of non-life-threatening injuries. I personally offered assistance to the family of this individual to assist the family during this traumatic time. However, I was advised that they would reach out for assistance as needed. There were no injuries suffered by any officers as a result of shots being fired. However, one officer did receive minor injuries while attempting to move to cover. As this is an officer-involved shooting by the Beaver Dam Police Department, the Dodge County Sheriff's Office was requested to investigate the incident. The Dodge County Sheriff's Office Detective Division is actively investigating the incident, and upon completion of this investigation, we will be turning it over to the Dodge County District Attorney for review. Further details may be released at a later time, but we do not anticipate any further information being made available prior to noon on Tuesday, October 30th. I'll now turn it over to Chief John Kreitzinger for some further comments.
Thank you, Sheriff. Good morning. My name is Police Chief John Kreitzinger. As this case is being investigated by the Dodge County Sheriff's Office, I cannot comment on the details of the incident. I would like to take a moment to discuss the officer involved in the actions taken by the Beaver Dam Police Department. The officer involved in the shooting is a 17-year veteran of the Beaver Dam Police Department. Again, we will not be releasing his name at this time. He has been placed on non-disciplinary administrative leave per our Beaver Dam Police Department policy pending the investigation from the Dodge County Sheriff's Office and our own internal review. We are providing for appropriate support for the officers involved and their families. I am very confident in the decisions made by my officers in critical incidents as they are very well trained. I would like to thank the Dodge County Sheriff's Office, Dodge County District Attorney's Office, Beaver Dam paramedics, and the Dodge County Emergency Response Team for their assistance in this incident. At this time, we will take a few questions.
When was the last time there was an officer-involved shooting in Beaver Dam?
I can comment on that. It wasn't by the Beaver Dam Police Department, but we actually did have one. I believe it was August 4th of 2016, and that was involving one of my deputies.
Now, when officers did decide to discharge their weapons, was there? You mentioned there was a weapon involved on the other on the individual side as well.
There were other firearms involved, and that's where I'll leave that.
Do you know if they had possessed it legally?
I'm not going to comment on that portion.
Have there been calls to that residence in the past?
Again, that's part of the investigation that we want to keep close to the vest for now. Any other questions?
Can you make any more comment on who lived in the residence?
We're not releasing any information beyond that 35-year-old and that person's family.
Could you tell us if he's a veteran?
I'm not going to release any information about him right now.
When you say family, do you have any more general information of, I guess?
That's as general information as I'm going to give you today.
In the domestic dispute, was anybody hurt?
There are no other injuries other than what I told you in the release.
How is the gentleman doing today, as far as you know?
He is in stable condition at the hospital.
Still at UW?
I believe so.
So I apologize if you already said that something on this, but as far as the domestic incident itself, can you give us any details on that?
That I can't, because a lot of that, as I stated earlier, some of this actually falls under the Chapter 19, where it's restricted information based off of mental health information.
Why was Dodge County chosen to investigate instead of maybe somewhere more removed?
This occurred within the city of Beaver Dam by Beaver Dam police officers. The Dodge County Sheriff's Office was not involved in the incident at all, and we had conversations with other agencies that weren't available, and we made the decision that we certainly can investigate this. This is not an officer-involved death, which brings it to another standard under Wisconsin statute. But even with an officer-involved death, we would be allowed under that statute to conduct that investigation, and we have a capable staff. I'm very confident in the abilities of my detective division and in the abilities of all of my staff to be able to do an impartial investigation into this and make sure we get to the facts.
You mentioned that there was an officer was injured while moving into cover. Are you able to mention anything else about the extent of his injuries?
Just minor injuries, nothing that required any type of medical attention.
Can you be more specific than lower extremities?
At this point, we'll leave it at that.
How long were you on the scene?
We were there from the time of the incident, which occurred, I believe it was at 5:36. Our deputies arrived not long after that, and then we remained there until our detectives were complete. I believe it was about 1:30 in the morning.
Were there any other agencies involved?
Not any other law enforcement agencies, no.
Can you tell us about the other non-law enforcement agencies that were involved?
Sure. As we talked about, the Dodge County Emergency Response Team assisted with some traffic control. Beaver Dam paramedics arrived and assisted with medical. And of course, our district attorney also responded and assisted.
Can you tell us how the call was received? Was it a 911 dispatch call?
It was, yes.
Are you able to mention who placed that call to any extent?
Not at this time. Any information related to the 911 call, you certainly can file an open records request. I will tell you at this time, again, because of some of the things that we've got going on, we may not be able to release any of that at this time. If I do establish that there's something that might be good for the media to be able to have, we certainly would release that to you. But at this point, I don't anticipate anything will be released in the next several days.
Any minors involved in this incident?
I'm not going to comment on that right now.
Will there be another press conference on Tuesday at noon? Was that what the Tuesday at noon?
I don't believe we'll have any additional press conferences, but I anticipate on Tuesday we may be able to release a little bit additional information. Any questions? All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming and for your time.